Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the Seraphon for the Order faction for Age of Sigmar 4th edition, and this is the run-in for the last week of faction focuses, and then we're into pre-orders. So let's jump in and let's see what the big frogs are going to do in 4th edition. So that is correct. Seraphon are today's faction focus. The big bad lizards are the main one. An army that I am currently collecting. So I'm quite interested in this focus, just to see what they're actually going to be doing. They're an army that is very, very strong on the magic front. I can attest to that, being on the receiving end of a competitive list that was pumping out 60 mortal wounds in one hero phase. Was not nice. Pontifex did her work that day. But yes, amazing looking new models. They had a massive revamp in 3rd edition with some new Saurus, new cavalry, which is in this nice artwork, and the new plastic slan, and obviously we've got Lord Croak as well. So they're a really, really cool faction. An absolute painter's dream. They really work well for speed painting. Even if you want to do that hideous slap chop, you can do it. Or you can follow my video on speed painting, and yeah. But we'll have a look and see what the lizards have got. They're probably one of the most eagerly anticipated for the faction focuses. And let's see. We already know that the Croxagore are getting extra additional wounds, so we kind of got teased that earlier. So we're not probably going to see them today. But for their battle traits, they have a once per battle in the deployment phase. You can pick an Astrasium ability. That Astrasium ability can be used for the rest of the battle, but the others cannot unless followed by the further the great plan ability. Now, I'm assuming that's what these 3-4 things here down the side, so you get to pick one of these, and that goes into play for the entire battle, which is kind of cool. Okay. Then you got once per battle at the start of the 3rd battle round. They've got further the great plan, so you can use this ability if you meet the conditions below that corresponds to the Astrasium you picked in the deployment phase. So you've got 3 or more enemy units have been destroyed. Cool. There are no enemy units wholly within friendly territory. Doable. The enemy general is in combat or has been destroyed. Definitely doable. There are any friendly slan units on the battlefield, and no friendly slan units are in combat or have been destroyed. Yeah, you don't want to get slan in combat. So, you know, if you've done that, you've really messed up. Pick a different Astrasium ability. It can be used in addition to the one you have picked in your deployment phase. So, basically, you pick one of these passive abilities at the beginning of the game. If you achieve one of the conditions below, you then get to pick a second one. It's pretty solid. Okay, so your Astrasiums, probably butchering that word, but bite me, the first one is a passive. Obviously, they're all passives. So, a companion weapons used by friendly Seraphon units have crit 2 hits. That's pretty good. Because you're going to have a lot of companions, because you're going to be bringing a lot of big monsters ridden by dinosaurs, because that's the faction. You have subtract 1 from Ren characteristics for melee weapons for attacks that target friendly Seraphon units that are wholly within friendly territory. That's not bad, especially good in the early game when you're going to be sitting in your deployment zones for a bit. But I prefer the other one over this one. And then we've got add 2 to the movement characteristic of friendly Seraphon units. Plus 2 movement is always quite nice. And then you've got add 1 to the casting rolls for friendly Seraphon units. I can see that one being one of the primary ones that are going to be used. Plus 2 movement or plus 1 casting is probably what people are going to be going into. Personally, I will probably go plus 1 casting, because your army is predominantly magic. So, yeah. And then once you get your conditions, you're going to be able to pick a second one from the 3rd battle round onwards. So your battle formation is the Sunclaw Starhost. Pick up to 3 friendly Saurus or Croxagore units that are in combat to be the targets. For each target, make a pile-in move. Then pick an enemy unit, then combat with the target, and roll D3 on a 2+, inflict that amount of mortal damage on the enemy equal to the roll. Cool. I like that. I definitely like it because I want to do Croxagore and Saurus heavy armies. So I'm a big fan of that one. So we have a spell. So we've got the Law of the Celestial Manipulation. This is cast on a 6. Pick a friendly Seraphon wizard to be the caster. Pick an enemy unit within 12 inches to be the target. Roll 2d6, needing 6+, or 5s if you've picked that as Tracium. Subtract 1 from the rend characteristics of the target's weapons until the start of your next turn. This is an unlimited spell, which means you can do this more than once. Obviously, you won't be able to do it to the same unit more than once, I believe. They can only be affected by it once. I think that's a core rule thing. But either way, you could really blunt the rend across an enemy army, which is quite nice. So, first things first, for the faction focus, we've got our Slan Star Mace Master. Basically, our Electro Toad. So they have a 5-up save, they move 5. It's a frog. They've got 9 health and they've got 2 control. Has a 6-up ward. It does fly because it is on a floating flying chair. They have their Azure Lightning, which is 6 attacks, 3s followed by 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage, critical damage on 6s, which is really quite good. So not bad. I mean, like, this hitting on 3s and wounding on 3s is pretty good. Not what I expected to see the lizards get, to be fair. Especially a frog. So, yeah. They've got Masters of the Order, so you can add 1 to the casting rules for this unit. In addition, this unit can use the Unbind ability if an enemy wizard anywhere on the battlefield uses a spell. That is huge. Instead of the enemy wizard being within 30 inches of the unit. That is massive. And when using the Banish Manifestation ability, this unit can pick a manifestation anywhere on the battlefield instead of within 30 inches. That is just so good. And the fact that it's +1 cast base on its War Scroll, then you can get the +1 casting on the Astracium. So that's +2. You're really going to be popping off your magic without any problems whatsoever. In your hero phase, it has Celestial Equilibrium. So you make a casting roll on 2d6, needing a 6, potentially needing a 4. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to the casting rolls made by other friendly wizards. Oh my lord, that's now popping that up to everyone getting +2 to their casting while they are within 12 inches of this unit. Oh, that's scary. So this is kind of like how they kind of worked in 3rd edition already. But yeah, that's... Anybody who had fears of that the magic potential of this army was going to go down is definitely misplaced. So they've got once per turn in any hero phase, Arcane Vassal. Pick a friendly skink wizard wholly within 18 inches of this unit to be the target. Measure the range and visibility of the spell ability used by this unit for the target instead of using this unit. Basically, you turn a skink wizard into a spell portal. One of the tricks that you can do is get a skink wizard on a one of the big lizards, one of the big dinosaurs. And you could used to be able to teleport that forward and then use it basically as a umbral spell portal. Kind of cool, and it's also really cool that it's any skink wizard, which is kind of cool. So yeah, definitely ramping up the magic potential, what the Slan should be doing. And every army should basically include at least 1 Star Master anyway. So once per turn, your hero phase, Celestial Reinforcements. Pick a friendly Seraphon unit that has started the battle with 3 or more models and has been destroyed to be the target. Roll a dice on a 4+, set up the replacement unit within half the number of models from the target unit, rounding up, wholly within 12 inches of this unit and more than 9. So, Saurus Warriors get killed, you can bring at least 5 of them back, and then you're probably going to be able to rally them really quickly and get them back to full strength in no time. So, it's kind of cool to see that. Be interested to see what something like the Engine of the Gods is going to change with the summoning potential that army had. Then we got the Saurus Old One on the Carnosaur, probably one of the coolest models in the starter set. I have one, he's on my shelf just behind me. He has a 4-up save, he has moves 10, he has a health of 14 and a control of 5. Pretty meaty. He has a Sunbolt Gauntlet, because he's kind of got like a Thanos gauntlet thing on his hand. It's a 12-inch range, D6 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage, and can shoot in combat, which is really good. Melee weapons, he has a spear, 5 attacks, 3s followed by 3s, 1 rend, 2 damage, and does an additional damage when he charges, so 3 damage on the charge is pretty nice. And then we've got the Carnosaur itself, we've got the claws and the forward limbs, 4 attacks, 4s followed by 2s, 1 rend, 3 damage, companion attack. And then we've got his massive jaws, which is 3 attacks, 4s followed by 2s, 2 rend, 3 damage. This has got some serious amount of damage output. Really, really good. Now, the jaws do drop down to 2 attacks from 3 if you have 10 or more damage. But that's kind of cool. It has a passive ability, so spearhead of the charge. So if this unit charged this turn, add 1 to the charge rolls for friendly Saurus units wholly within 18 inches of this unit for the rest of the turn. Really, really good. And you're going to probably want to run this guy alongside Saurus because he's basically he's a big Saurus himself. And then you've got a passive. He causes terror, so subtract 2 from the control scores of enemy units while they're in combat with this unit. So that probably is going to nullify most baseline troops control zones when they're on objectives and in combat with this thing. So you should be able to take objectives quite easily with him. And he's going to just lift units anyway, which is pretty quite nice. Then you got Blood Frenzy, so it's a rampage ability. If this unit is in combat with any damaged enemy monster, roll a dice on a 3+. That unit has strike first for the rest of the turn. That's really good, especially if you want to take out monsters. But yeah, pretty impressed with this guy. Really quite happy because I do have one painted. And will be looking to run this guy a lot because I like Saurus and he buffs Sauruses. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Pterodon Riders. I'm not a big fan of these, and they used to be really weird. But let's see what they get. So they've got a 5-up save, 14 move, they've got a health of 3, and they've got control of 1. They've got javelins, they've got a 10-inch range, 3 attacks, 4s followed by 5s, no Ren 1 damage, but they do crit auto wounds. Not amazing, to be completely fair. In combat, they've got their razor sharp jaws, so they've got 3 attacks, 4s followed by 3s, 1 Ren 1 damage, and it's a companion attack. Okay. So in your movement phase, they've got deadly cargo. So pick an enemy unit that this unit passed across this phase to be the target. Roll a dice for each model in the unit and add 2 to each roll if this unit is within the combat range of a friendly Pterodon chief. For each 5+, inflict 1 mortal wound on the target. If any damage points are allocated by this ability and the target does not have the fly target keyword, use a run ability and they cannot use run abilities until the start of their next turn. Okay, so that's okay. That's going to kind of sort of bring the speed down of armies, but there's only a few armies that can run and charge, and that would really impact it. You could really maybe situationally sort of slow down a unit that's trying to run to get an objective at the flanks or need to get near the flanks for a battle tactic. But yeah, all in all, not impressed. Passive, they've got attack from high, subtract 1 from hit rolls for a shooting attacks that target this unit. So -1 hit because they fly. I'm not overly impressed with these. Yeah, they don't really do the damage for me, and their little movement slowing ability isn't really great. So, yeah, probably give these guys a miss. Then we got the Engine of the Gods. Probably used to be a very mainstay unit in a Seraphon army. There was a time that you'd see 3 of these being run for their stupid amount of summoning that it could do. Not so much now, but hopefully they've got a place. So they've got a 4-up save, they move 8, they've got a health of 14. It's a big giant Stegazon with a thing on its back. Control of 5. So there's a load of javelins from the skinks. They've got a 12-inch range, they've got 6 attacks, 4s followed by 4s, no Ren 1 damage, and can shoot in combat, which is kind of handy. And then they've got the horns and jaws, 6 attacks, 4s followed by 2s, 1 rend, 2 damage, +1 damage on the charge, and it's a companion attack. So, and also that if it takes more than 10 damage, that will go from 6 attacks to 4 attacks. But to be quite honest, you're not really going to want your Engine of the Gods in combat. That's not what they're for. So, yeah, if you want to get big dinosaurs in combat, you want a Bastillodon, not an Engine of the Gods. So, once per turn, army, any combat phase, Crest of Horns. Pick an enemy unit that charged this turn and is in combat with this unit to be the target. Roll a d3 and on a 2+, inflict the amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. That's a standard rule across the game now. Add 1 to the save rolls for attacks made by that enemy unit that target this unit for the rest of the turn. Okay, so you can get +1 turn. You get +1 to your save to get to a 3-up save. That's okay. It is only once per turn though, so it's definitely going to be situational, and it can be used in any combat phase. So it can be used in your enemy's combat phase and yours, so it's not too bad. So your hero phase, and this is probably going to be the main rule that makes Engine of the Gods going to be worth it or not. So the Cosmic Engine. declare. Pick if this unit will harness or reserve the power of the cosmic engine. The effects. If it will reserve the power, place a cosmic power token next to the unit. They're wanting us to use tokens when other armies have lost tokens. Make up your mind, Games Workshop. If it will harness the power, roll a dice and add the number of cosmic power tokens to this unit that has to the roll. Then remove all the cosmic power tokens this unit has and pick one of the following effects if possible. So you've got Healing Light on a 3+, so you need 3 cosmic tokens or more. You can heal D3 all friendly Seraphon units wholly within 12 inches of this unit. That is good. So bringing back those half units within your heroes, then popping this is also then heals them by D3, and then you can rally on top of that. So you're going to get that unit back to full strength really quickly. Then you've got Starlight Summoner on a 5+. You can pick up to 3 friendly Seraphon units wholly within 12 inches of this unit and return 1 slain model to each unit. So you can either heal or you can return a model. Now, some people will argue the fact that the heal is a heal and doesn't return dead models. It will only remove wound characteristics from the model. But I'm pretty sure there's more rules in the core rules regarding healing and returning models. But it's one or the other. Then there's Time Slows. On a 6+, you can pick up the 3 friendly Seraphon units wholly within 12 inches of this unit. Those units have to strike first for the rest of the turn. That's going to involve you bringing these things forward with the bulk of your forward fighting units, such as your Seraphon and Croxagores. Maybe, if you can screen them out really well, that could be viable. But I could imagine these things sitting quite back nicely with your other stuff, sort of healing up things and keeping things nice and buffed. But yeah, not too bad. No summoning. So it seems that summoning definitely is gone in 4th edition, by the looks of it. And then we go into the Spearhead, which I'm not really interested in because I'm not playing it. And that is the Spearhead box. So obviously you get 3 Croxagores, which are absolute beasts. Now the new Saurus models, which are beautiful. And then the old one on the Carnosaur, which is an absolute monster, as we've just seen in this article. And then hopefully that's the stat profile that we'll see for the Saurus. So 2 attacks, 3s followed by 3s, 1 rend, 1 damage. No bites by the looks of it, but that might just be the Spearhead War Scroll and not the main War Scroll. And then tomorrow we're going to be looking at Slaves to Darkness, the big bad guys of the setting, and probably going to be the big focus after Skaven have sort of been forgotten about being the big bad guys again. But yeah, that's the Seraphon. All in all, I'm pretty happy. I'm a lot happier with that one than I am with the Cities of Sigmar. So I'm definitely going to go ahead now and start expanding my Seraphon army. Definitely now know how I want to be run them. I want a lot of Saurus, a lot of Croxagores, a lot of the cavalry, and a lot of magic. So it's going to be fun. But yeah, but last week of faction focuses, so obviously Friday should be the end of it. There's only, 4 more after this. We've got Slaves to Darkness to do. We will have, what else? We've got to have Blades of Khorne will need to be done. We will also have Iron Jaws, and then there's one other. I did have them all in my head, but I can't remember now. It'll probably come to me. But yes, there's pretty much one for this rest of this week, so there's 5 left. Oh yeah, Sylvaneth, the trees. Ugh. Try to forget about them because of the trauma. And then we will then go into next week. The pre-orders are on the 29th, so they're going to be basically 12 days' time. I would imagine that sometime next week, Wednesday or Thursday, we probably should get the download for the core rules and probably all of the faction packs. So as soon as the faction packs come out, I will do a full breakdown of my obviously chosen factions that I'm going to be playing in 4th edition, which will be the Seraphon and the Cities of Sigmar. I have been requested to do the Editon Deepkin by the Hobby Waffle, and I will probably either do that on my own or try to do a video with Simon and go through that with him. And if there's any others that you want me to do, let me know in the comments below, and I'll have a look at those as well. I may also do Blades of Khorne because I'm potentially going to do them at some stage during 4th edition. But that's the video, everybody. If you like what I do, please like, subscribe, share, and all of that good stuff. And then check out my members area and my Patreons. Not far off 3,000 subscribers. just over 30 more subscribers, and then I hit that big 3,000. So please hit that button, and I will see you all tomorrow for Slays to Darkness. Goodbye for now.